Hi you guys, it's Tracy here again, the Chocolate Stew, and welcome back to my channel. Again, I told you guys I will not leave you hanging anymore. I will kick out these videos to you because I have so many ideas and topics in my mind. So, without further ado, let's get started. Today's topic is about the flight attendant world. How to succeed as a flight attendant. I get so many questions asking about being a flight attendant, what goes into being a flight attendant. There's a lot. I put together 10 of my top things of succeeding as a flight attendant. Number one, take care of your physical health. That is so important. When I became a flight attendant, there was no information on your physical health about being a flight attendant. No one told me to drink plenty of water to stay hydrated. I didn't get any of that. So definitely take care of your physical health. That means get your regular checkups from your doctor. I'm telling you, flying up and down, it takes a toll on the physical, the physical. And also, some flight attendants, not all flight attendants, I don't wear them, but I will start wearing them. They are the TED stockings, the compression stockings. Sorry, I had to pause a minute and throw my glasses on because I'm using a cheat sheet and I cannot see you guys. Okay, compression stockings are specialized hosiery designed to help prevent the occurrence of and guard against further progression of Venus, hopefully I pronounced that right. If I didn't, leave a comment below. Disorders such as edema, phlebitis. Did I pronounce that right? Not sure. If I didn't, leave it below. And thrombosis. I knew I pronounced thrombosis right. Compression stockings are elastic garments worn around the leg, compressing the limb. Very important, you guys. Very important. So that's a part of taking care of your physical health, especially when flying. Again, I mentioned water, hydration. Whoa, I cannot stress that enough. I'm telling you something about flying. It just sucks everything out of you. You start wrinkling early. You start, That means taking care of your skin, buying products that hydrate the skin, getting in a little bit of exercise. Yeah, just a little bit something. I'm trying myself. Believe me, you guys. It's not like I do all of these things on a consistent basis. It's happened over the years where I had to learn. And I learned the hard way, especially about being dehydrated, because I was rushed to the emergency room because I was dehydrated. So take it from me. Take it from the Chocolate Stew. Yeah, take it from me. Number two, take care of your mental health, you guys. You don't see it as a passenger, but there's a lot going on up here when we're working. And I'll give you an example. From the time you put your uniform on and you step into that airport. No, before you step into the airport, okay? First of all, just like anybody else, you go into work, you gotta sometimes, we don't really necessarily punch a time clock, but we gotta check in. Okay, so we want to be on time. So that's in our mind, got to be on time, because if you're not, honey, I told you before, don't hold up an aircraft. You don't want to do that. So you go in there with that. You're walking through the airport. Okay, there's people sometimes asking you questions because they see a uniform. Don't get me wrong, I'm not blaming them or anything. They just need their questions answered. And if you're the first person they see in uniform, guess what, honey? They're going to ask you, can you tell me where the magical Disney bus is? No. I don't know. But anyway, so it starts with that. And then you get to your aircraft, okay? You get to the aircraft and we are trained. First of all, we get on, we do our checks. So the day begins. We do our checks, making sure whatever you're assigned to, whatever your position is on that aircraft, you have to make sure it's in working order. Make sure it's present. Make sure it's working. If it's not, you got to report it. On and on and on. So then you get in your boarding position and here comes the folks. So with that, the first thing in our mind, yes, hi, how are you? Welcome aboard. We do all that, but also we're looking. We're looking to see if there's anything unusual about the folks getting on board. Do we have any people that are intoxicated getting on board that we'll have to deal with? Do we have anyone with a big old bag that should have been checked in and they're shoving it in that overhead bin? And then, yeah, so all of that. So we're looking, and it's a lot of safety in our minds. Okay, you know, just in case an emergency happens, we're thinking of that. If you're working in the front and you have certain people that are sitting in the front, one of the first things, I shouldn't say one, something that you're thinking about is, if there's an emergency and we have to evacuate that aircraft, can I depend on these people in the front row to help out? And if not, in my mind, I'm looking at other people. I'm scanning, like, okay, if something happens, I may have to get that gentleman there, that young lady there, to move up and push these people back. These things are going on in our mind. If you are in the overwing, you're the flight attendant there, you're looking at keeping people that are not supposed to be in that overwing not there. Okay, pre-boarders, if you pre-board, you can't sit in the overwing window exit. So we're looking at that. We're looking again. We are, I won't say scanning people, but we're looking for things that don't seem quite normal. Okay, so with that, we're done with that. All of a sudden, doors are closed, and it's time for, let's just skip to takeoff. We've been cleared to take off. As a flight attendant, there's certain things we have to do. We're not sitting up there. Yeah, every now and then you'll see us talking a little bit, but in our minds, the first few seconds to minutes going up into that air, we have to be particularly on alert. Because, and I'll give you a little bit of a lesson here, the first few minutes up in the air are the most critical, okay, where things can happen. And on descent, as we're descending, we're landing, that's when things can happen. I'm not saying they can't happen in the air, but those things we have to be on alert. So mental, you guys, all that stuff going through our head. Not to mention, then it's time to take care of our wonderful passengers and get the service out. And, you know, be nice to everybody. And with all of that, don't forget, you still got a private life. And up in here, maybe you just left home and you had an argument with your significant other. Or maybe your kids didn't get to school on time and that's in your mind. And, you know, all this stuff, all of this stuff. And also with your mental health, if it means, and don't worry about what other people say. If you need help, if you need someone to talk to, a therapist, seek one out and do it. Very important for the flight attendant world. Very important. It's nothing to be ashamed of. As a matter of fact, I think going to a therapist is wonderful. I've been to one before and it was wonderful and it helped. Okay, so don't be afraid to take care of your mental health. Number 3, take time off. Take time off. Do things with your family. Do things by yourself. Go on vacations. But take some time off just to clear your head. That kind of ties into the mental health thing. Moving on, number 4. Okay, this is for those of you that are flight attendants and those of you that are planning to become a flight attendant. This will pertain to you too. Treat your passengers with respect. Let me say that again. Treat your passengers with respect. Do not be a doormat for passengers to disrespect you. Let me repeat that half, okay? Just in case some of us didn't get that. Do not be a doormat for passengers to disrespect you. Now, when I say treat your passengers with respect, and I'm not going to give examples because I could a whole bunch, but we won't go there. I'm not pointing fingers or anything. But just keep in mind that a lot of times, you know, as flight attendants, we get a little irritated with some things, and we have to remember everyone is not a seasoned flyer or traveler. It could be their first time traveling. So if they ask questions, even though you've been asked the same questions a million times that day, that's okay. That's the first time that that person asked you that question. So treat them with respect, with dignity. If someone says, and it's the first time on your particular airline, and they say, oh, you know, where do I sit? I don't know. And they could be a little discombobulated because, honey, going through that security just throws you off anyway. We all know that. It throws me off sometimes. So, but just respect your passengers. Now, on the flip side, we do get passengers that are unruly, honey. Yes, we do. It's a fact. You see it in the news sometimes, but you only see one side. But let me tell you from a flight attendant's standpoint, yeah, we do get those passengers that are rude, and they're rude to us. I'll put it out there. They've called names. They've done physical harm sometimes. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You don't have to take that. Now, I'm not saying if a passenger, you know, calls you a name, you just bam. I'm not saying that. There's proper channels. There's procedures to do that. I get it. We're all human, and we just want to whoop, snap back. I get it. However, there's a procedure to handle those situations. Now, somebody punches you in the face. I'm not going to tell you what to do. There are procedures for that too. It's defending yourself, okay? Because someone has threatened you, okay? There's procedures for that. But we won't go over the procedures because it could be possible. I won't say it's different for every airline because it's probably the same procedure for all of the airlines to how to deal with that. So, you don't have to take abuse from a passenger. And at the same time, just remember that some passengers just need help if they've never flown before. And the flying and travel is all new to them. So just have patience.